Greetings, fellow adventurers. This is darkfireslide, and welcome back to another episode of Pathfinder Kingmaker in Beneath the Stolen Lands. Now, I got a little bit of an allergy problem at the moment, so I do apologize about that. I'm still going to have some fun here today, though. And one detail I wanted to point out right here at the start is I didn't realize how much taller half-orcs are than humans, but I think that this is incredibly amusing, especially if we decided to use like an enlarged person spell or something. Like, that would be great. All right, now we're up to is that three animal companions? Yeah, because we've got one on our druid, we've got one on our ranger, and we've got one on our sorceress. So that's pretty impressive. That's a lot of animal friends. We've got a bear, a boar, and a dog. That's great. Now, I've discovered something that may be a little bit unfortunate for this run, and that's that you can only clear one boss per run. Like, period. It doesn't matter where that boss shows up. Once you've killed the boss, you actually need to leave the dungeon, retire your current party, and start a new party. Now, the reason for this, I believe, is so that when you do this in the main campaign, you actually don't lose your progress, and there's a reason to not just, like, go through the entire dungeon and, like, lose everything. Or like, complete the game before you complete the game, that sort of thing. Ooh, that's a really good bonus. Happy about that shrine bonus. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why that's there. Otherwise, though, for, like, just playing it on its own, it's a little bit obnoxious. Because one thrill of roguelike games is, like, you know, getting to the final floor, beating the boss, and I hope that at least the final boss is, like, repeatable. Because otherwise, I'd be starting a new save file all the time, just so I could actually beat the bosses again. Of course, I don't even know how many bosses there actually are, so who knows? Let's see. Why is the bear all the way in the back? No, no, no. He needs to be in the front. This party formation is like completely out of whack here. Why? Why is this happening? Whatever. Okay. Got that squared away. Perfect. And anyway, the reason I bring this up is because I think by floor 10, this run will be over, basically, or thereabouts. So the whole, like, agonizing over the dragon disciple build that I was doing may not even be relevant. So yeah. Anyway, though, we just got a huge buff from that shrine. We got the aspect of the wolf. Yeah, which gives us a +4 to our strength and dexterity, which at this point in the game is pretty huge, especially considering that our animal companions also got the bonus, which is just awesome, honestly. It's just really, really awesome. That'll make clearing this floor pretty easy, I think. And most of these early floors aren't too bad. The difficulty doesn't really ramp up until about floor 10, I would say, so. Granted, what's difficult for me may not be easy for somebody else. I shouldn't just assume that, like, yeah, I didn't have any problems, but I've also played a lot of Pathfinder and Kingmaker in general, so. Alright, I will go ahead and activate a Barbarian Rage here, and let's see. Our Druid can Wild Shape, but, like, what's the point is kind of what I'm thinking. I will go ahead and use a Magic Missile on this Mite, though. One less enemy. Awesome. And again, I don't want to rest because we've got this awesome party buff on right now, thanks to the shrine, so. Let's see. We weren't able to identify the ring? Like, nobody? Wow. Wait, does anyone have Knowledge Arcana? She does, but it's only a +6. Interesting. Oh man, I know what feat I'll have to take on my ranger. There's one that increases the effective level of your animal companion, and that seems like a no-brainer to me, because otherwise this bear is going to have like 11 hit points all the time, even though we're at 4th level. That's pretty not good, I would say. Chest. I do like it's not like on its own as a roguelike game, it's not like the greatest thing ever, but combined with like the character customization of like Pathfinder in general, I actually really like this mode. Like in no other roguelike can you customize your character basically to this level, and you get like 4 characters to customize. Um, and even more if you decide to buy more party members. You just start with 4, which is I think a really cool decision that you have to make as you're playing through this is like, do I want more characters with less experience, or do I want fewer characters who are like more experienced? Ow, ow. All right. Well, that hurt a lot. Let's see. Do we have any form of healing? I think we picked up a lot of potions so far. Oh yeah, we've got 29 potions of Cure Light. Our druid also has. Let's see. Looks like some scrolls as well. There's a kind of a huge meme in role-playing games in general that I find amusing about how people just like will hoard potions and other consumable items as they're playing a game, and I just find it very funny. Just I'm somebody who really doesn't mind. Like I will use consumables sometimes just to use them. You know what I mean? Like I know I don't actually need this, but it looks cool, and I want to see what it does. And that is enough for me alone to like actually just go ahead and use them. Like we've got 30 of these potions just laying around. I might as well use them, especially for nasty situations like that where like a trap goes off. Let's see. Where is the door? Maybe there is no door in this room. Maybe the exit is somewhere else. Probably in this room. Yep, right there. The new fast walk feature added in by the enhanced edition is phenomenal. I mean, look at this. It just saves so much time. There's probably like 1 or 2 fights left on this floor. I'm gonna try to clear those, then probably go back and use that fire to rest. Unless, of course, we get another fire. Okay. This Nixie is gonna cause some issues, so we're gonna focus her down with our ranged characters. Look at that crit, though. 19 damage. Gone. Oh, man. These party buffs are just great. They're so great. Just makes the game a whole lot more fun. Let's see. Alright, what's the DC here? So we have to roll at least a... It's a 21, he's got a plus 11. So we needed to roll at least a 10. It's only really like a 50% chance of succeeding when I think about it. Let's see, Masterwork Quarterstaff. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to that fire and rest. I could just go down to the next floor and do it, but this is like instantaneous, and I don't have to go back to town to do it. So that's why we're doing it this way. Now, obviously, the most efficient way to play is whenever you go down to a new floor and you gain a level, you would want to go back to town to rest to get your new spells. This early on, it doesn't really matter just because the martial characters are going to do so much damage that we don't really have to worry about it. Now that being said, we did do exactly that. We leveled up, so we'll go through that process real quick again. So let's see. For Dragon Disciple, okay. So we're gonna give it a shot regardless of how good it actually is. We're just gonna take a regular sorcerer, and I don't think we're allowed to take a Draconic Bloodline if we pick sorcerer. Let me double check that real quick. Okay, so it makes sense to me to just choose the Draconic Bloodline. It doesn't appear to be, I googled it, there doesn't appear to be an issue with any of the regular Sorcerer Bloodlines as far as taking Dragon Disciple goes. In fact, the levels of the Bloodline from this may actually stack with Dragon Disciple, and if so, that's really cool. So we're going to go with the Silver Dragon, not for any particular reason, mostly just because I think it looks cool. Um, I'm not really trying to min-max too hard here. I just thought that this would be a fun class to try, which, I mean, really is the advantage of this mode, is if you think of, like, a weird or wacky build, or just something that you think, like, looks cool, you can always give it a shot. Although, obviously, later on in the dungeon, depending on how good you are at the game, of course, um, you may run into issues, just depending on the kinds of things you run into. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get rolling here. What feat do I want? Let's see. Arcane Strike wouldn't really do anything for us because we're only ever going to have one caster level, so that doesn't really help. So far, we've got Power Attack, Heavy Armor Proficiency. Obviously, we're not going to be casting spells, just because we are a Barbarian wearing Heavy Armor, so that's just not going to work out. We will still be able to use a lot of spell-like abilities, though, as a Dragon might, which is very exciting. Let's see. Extra Rage could be nice, just because we're not going to have a whole lot of levels in Barbarian after this, so having those extra rounds to do that, I think I like the sound of that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Um, and something I'm glad I didn't do is pick the it's like the Beast Totem for Barbarian, because as it happens, the Dragon Disciple class gets a bite attack by default anyway. So we also get a bonus feat, really. And, oh, it's a meta magic feat. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, okay. So silver dragons do, I think, cold damage? Yeah. So their breath weapon does cold damage. They're like icy mountain dragons, I think is the idea. So we're gonna go with the elemental focus cold, because the thing is, this will actually affect our breath weapon. Well, it says against spells. Let's see. Wait, where's the feat I'm thinking of, where it increases the number of damage you do per die? Because this is just +1 to the difficulty class. I don't really care so much about that. Am I imagining a feat that wasn't actually there? Huh. Oh, that's unfortunate. Whatever. We'll go with elemental focus just on the off chance that it affects our breath weapon. If it doesn't, it doesn't really matter to me, I guess. There aren't really a whole lot of feats that we can actually take. Let's see. Shield's a decent one to take, just because +4 shield AC is pretty good. Although it'll only last a minute, so kind of who cares in that regard. And then we'll do enlarge person as well. Come to think of it, let's see. Is there the practice spellcaster feat in this game? I don't think there is. So in Dungeons and Dragons 3.5, which Pathfinder is based off of, there was a feat you could take called Practice Spellcaster. And what this would do is give you basically like 3 functional more levels if you are multi-classing specifically with a spellcaster class. So for all the level dependent variables, so like minutes per level, like that your spell lasts for the duration, it would increase that by 3 levels. So you'd go from 1 minute spells to 4 minute spells, which would be long enough to actually matter. But I'm not really seeing anything like that, so as nice as that would be, I don't think it actually exists in Kingmaker. So, okay, whatever though. It's fine. I don't want to dwell on that too much. Alright, we have our druid. Let's see. I think for her we'll want to get the natural spell feat if she can get it. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So that'll let her cast spells while polymorphed, which is an incredibly useful feat for druids. If you don't plan on wild shaping them, obviously it's not going to be that useful, but for our purposes, pretty darn useful. See, ranger feet. Let's see, what feet are we on in terms of the feet track is going to be the question here. Let's see. We've already got... oh, we wanted to take Boon Companion for his actual feat. Yeah, because then his animal companion level is going to skyrocket. I would like to take weapon-focused longbow, but we'll get another combat feat next level, and then the level after that we'll get yet another one. So, I mean, as nice as it would be to maximize that, his animal companion is currently not useful at all, so I would rather it gets that. Okay, so favorite enemy, for this mode, I'm honestly thinking that undead would be a good choice, and the reason for this is that most undead resist piercing damage. So that means whenever we go up against undead, the favorite enemy bonus will kind of counteract that, except when they don't have damage reduction in the first place, and then it just does more damage flat out, which is always nice. Now, obviously, favorite enemy dwarves here. This is just like a no-brainer pick if you just need a favorite enemy, because look at that beard. I mean, who would not want to like hunt these people down and just destroy every last one of them? I'm kidding, of course. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Let's see, what's this? Why are we picking a second favorite enemy here? Oh, it's because our first one was magical beasts. That's right. That's right. So then we're picking which one we want to boost. Okay. I'm actually gonna boost undead. Um, reason being, again, that damage reduction is something we really want to overcome. And I'd also like him to be able to kill undead as quickly as possible, because undead are honestly some of the nastiest enemies in the game, and we don't have a cleric to kind of deal with them the way that you normally would. Oh, cool. We get the Hideous Laughter spell at 5th level for our sorcerers. That's pretty good. I like that spell a lot. Nothing better than seeing a troll, like, rolling on the ground in laughter as you murder his face. Okay, so we've got a spell focused on evocation and transmutation. For the meantime, I'm thinking... I think it's spell penetration might be a good one to take. A lot of enemies have spell resistance in this game, even early on, so that could be a useful one to just kind of have around. We're up to 2nd level spells, which is awesome. Oh, we're on the 1st level spell still. Okay. Enlarge Person would be fun to do with a lot of our party members. Shield would be good for protective purposes, but we can probably just pick that up later. I'm thinking, yeah. I think we go with Enlarge Person. Cast that on our Barbarian, turn him into just Destructor, the Almighty. And then I don't really want to cast the buff spell. I don't really want to pick a buff spell for 2nd level, just because our Druid will be able to cast those. And later on can cast like a mass version, so not really particularly worried about that. Could do like a Scorching Ray, although she doesn't have precise shot, so it's iffy how useful that actually is. Could do like a Molten Orb. Let's see, this is 2d6 points of fire damage. Every creature within 5 feet of where the ball hits. Oh, it's a splash weapon, so it's still like a... Oh, it's a reflex half? Okay. Seems okay. Let's give it a shot and see what it actually looks like in practice. Okay, and then we're all leveled up and good to go. Alright, so we'll want to get our buffs going, and when I play, I like to really make sure that all my buffs are on like readily accessible hotkeys, because I end up casting these spells more than I cast like healing and like one-time like defeat the enemy spells, those sorts of things. So just a hint to make your experience a little bit quicker in that regard is to make sure that on your druids, your clerics, uh, or like your wizards, sorcerers, if you have like buff spells, just be sure to keep those on like a quick hotkey. That'll make your life a lot easier. Oh, whoops. You ever just accidentally select one character and they go running forward with no care to their person? Ooh, this opens straight up into a room. That's cool. Looks like we've got wolves. I think these just count as beasts and not magical beasts. So our favorite enemy bonus will not really have no effect here. This is a werewolf. I'm gonna go ahead and rage for that. Yeah, look at that damage reduction. 10. Whew. Oh, he got tripped by the dog. Yeah, he's done. There we go. And no loot of any note, so just keep on moving on. Alright. Hurry up, come on. Get in here, bear. I think we may actually have too many people on screen. That is a distinct possibility. Let's see. Our barbarian's fatigued now because he was raging, but that's okay. Yeah, these enemies are still kind of pushovers. That werewolf was a little bit like, you know, we might actually have to start paying a little bit more attention, but that's alright. Yeah, I don't really know how they could make these earlier floors more engaging, apart from just increasing the number of enemies. And then the thing is, I am playing on normal difficulty, but playing on normal just kind of weakens critical hits. So maybe on challenging, these earlier floors are still fine in terms of difficulty. Where do we need to go next? I hate when this happens. When the door is like hidden somewhere that I cannot see. What I will say, though, is I'm really loving the level design. Oh, there we go. There it is. It's always in like some corner, like tucked away. There we go. We've got a wolf up there. We'll just have these people in the back start shooting. These people. It's a party. I didn't even cast my party moves, I just realized. Got distracted for a second. So, well, better late than never, I always say. Let's go ahead and get a bull strength going on our barbarian here. And then on our sorceress, I think instead of doing what she was going to do, we're going to cast Enlarge Person on our barbarian as well. We're going to have our ranger focus on... Well, let's have him cast Hurricane Bow and then focus on this alpha. As we can see, animal companions are very effective at kind of holding off the weaker enemies. And then our barbarian should be able to just clean house with this alpha wolf. So now that he's enlarged, his damage die size increases from 2d6 to 3d6. And with bull strength also, his strength is currently 26, because the enlarged person bonus is a size bonus, and bull strength is an enhancement bonus, so that's a total of +6 to his strength. And that means he's up to 24 to 39 damage. So 3d6 plus 21. And this should be pretty epic to see how much damage he does here. Oh no, he got tripped! Wow. Look at that. 29 damage. He's getting chewed up though. Alright. Go ahead and give him a quick heal. But he's tripped again. He might actually go down. Another 32, and he's still up. Wow, this is one tanky wolf. Let's see. Which of these would do more? I think the Burning Arc does more damage. Cause that's that'd be like 5d6, and this is 2d6 in an area. So, yeah. There we go. Alright. Now, rather than waste these buffs by resting, I guess there's no reason not to rest. It would heal all of our HP back and everything. So, I wonder if by giving his corpse like that, if we lose his treasure. That's the important question for the ages right there. Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and rest. Why not? This time we'll cast our buffs the way we were supposed to. Something I could play around with as well is seeing how far reach weapons can reach if you've got enlarged person on. Seems like it'd be really strong. Alright, welcome to today's episode of saying the same enchantment 5 times. I'm your host, Dark, and I'll be walking you through how to do that. Let's see. Now, this is kind of comical. Technically, I can cast Mage Armor on all of the animal companions. And I'm kind of like, why not? Because all of our offensive spells are 2nd level spells. So, might as well do that. This is a really good synergy. I'm actually really liking this party so far. I had my doubts at the beginning. I just kind of went with like a nature-y theme, and it turns out it's actually pretty good. Oh, hey! +1 insight bonus against flat-footed and flanked targets. I mean, we'll probably give that to Ash Resistance 5, +3 bonus against paralysis and sleep. That's not bad. +1 light crossbow, cloak of resistance +1, and I forgot to pause while looking at the chest, which means we've been wasting buff time. So that's pretty great. Let's see. I think a +1 against flank targets is pretty good on a melee character. Obviously, we can't see what it looks like in the character portrait there. +3 against paralysis and sleep. I think we're going to give that to our druid, because the last person I want to fall asleep is like a support character like this. Yeah, so we want to avoid that. Let's see, this is only a regular +1 longbow, so we're not really concerned about it. We could go back to town and look for like +1 weapons for our whole party, but again, I don't really feel like we need them yet. Especially since most everyone has one who needs one. So I think we're good in that department, but let's go ahead and get rolling up here. How are our animal companions doing on health? Oh, they're fine. Every time I see the dog's face, I do the thing everyone does, I think, when they see dogs. They're just like, oh, like. Alright. The boar ate a lot of damage there, but the boar is also made of hit points, so I'm not particularly worried about that. You may be saying to yourself, it's debatable whether or not you should actually even like get heavy armor proficiency on a barbarian just because their AC is going to be so low in the first place. And I think my thought on that is, you know, you don't have to cut your losses just because something is not optimal. I mean, yes, the barbarian's AC is not great when he's raging. It'd be like 19, but without the heavy armor, he'd be down to like 16. You know what I mean? And later on, we'll keep increasing his AC, of course, and so it will continue to be like useful, just because we have a lot of like buff spells that we have access to, in addition to what he's already got, you know, in terms of armor. So I think it's fine. Where are you going, buddy? All right, there you go. Get that trap. Oh man, every time I bring a rogue on these runs, I'm just so grateful that they can just get skill focus as a free feat. Really helps with taking out the traps. Although I recently learned that alchemists can also take care of traps, which makes them very, very good alternatives to rogues. Alright, so knowledge arcana check here. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. What's her bonus? Only a +7. Our our barbarian knows more about magic than the sorceress does, and I find that highly amusing. Alright, let's go ahead and have him take a look at the shrine. He needs to roll at least an 8? He rolled a 2. Alright, well, this happens. Okay, let's see. Just regular long swords. Alright, and we're on to the next floor. And with that, sorry, I gotta remember not to talk during load screens just because, oh shoot, our druid's 5th level. She gets 3rd level spells. I totally forgot. I need to not talk during load screens just because, the audio tends to cut out when I'm doing that. So, alright, for this floor, we're gonna get Resist Energy Communal. And I think we'll memorize a Cure Moderate Wounds as well. And the reason I say this is you can kind of tell through with all the lightning jumping through the floor that this is going to be like a shock enemy type room or type floor. So we're just going to prepare for that. A lot of enemies will do elemental damage as you go through the dungeon, and they're usually like context clues to let you know that like, hey, that's a thing. Anyway, though, that's going to be the end of this episode for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.